Welcome everybody. This is the demo video to get to the first part of our contour project, contour self-portrait project, which is this stage where you have your contours traced onto this acetate paper. So let's back up a minute. After you've completed your planning guide, you will get that checked off with me, and then you will submit a photo of yourself on canvas for me to print. That could be a selfie that you take during class or at home. It could be a picture that you like of yourself that you've got access to on your phone or computer. Whatever you would like, just email it to me and I will enlarge it and print it really big on this paper. Then I will give you a sheet of tracing paper. This tracing paper, I guess I'll use this to demonstrate, is a bit larger than your photo paper, so you can kind of see how it hangs over the edge here. What I want you to do with that tracing paper is line it up on one of the bottom corners here. Let it hang over the other side, but make sure that it's aligned on at least two sides, starting on the bottom. And then you are going to fold the extra piece over the back of the photo like I've already done here. I'm sorry, I already taped it down. And then you'll put at least two pieces of tape there. Now I only want you to tape the top side because that way you can lift it up as you go. This tracing paper is nice, but it's a little bit difficult to see the darker areas clearly. So this is really helpful for you to be able to do that. So tape it down, make sure it lays flat, that way it doesn't move, but leave the other sides open so that you can look and see the details. So I can see where this line of the backpack strap is. And then I can put this back down and try to draw it. Another thing that you can do is use a white colored pencil in the dark areas to try and make them a little bit lighter so that you can see better. Or you can use a regular pencil or something a little bit darker if you need to define some of the lines in lighter areas. So right here, I just had a hard time getting the shape of the nose right, so I drew a few lines on my picture that outlined the nose, and then, let me lift it up so you can see. There we go. And then I laid the paper down, and I could see it a lot better. Now, I've started this tracing, obviously, as you can see, but I haven't finished it. What you are doing here is you are looking for the important contour lines. So you are not shading anything in at all. You are not scribbling or drawing quickly. Even if it's hair, I don't want to see any of this motion. You should be tracing outlines on, maybe if there's a clump of hair, you can outline that clump, show the direction that it goes, add a few lines just to show how the hair is moving, but none of it should be drawn quickly. This is something that takes time. And then you want to just kind of hold down on your tracing paper so you can see it better and outline everything that you see that's important. I've gotten to an area that's a little bit too dark, so I need to take a look, and now I can see that I've got the camera strap here, and then there's a bush, and there's my shirt. So that gives me a little bit better idea of how I'm gonna draw those lines. Okay, this is not your final project, so if you mess up, like this is a very small mistake, but I kind of drew the line wrong there, all you have to do is erase it and fix it. If you need new tracing paper, I can get you some. And don't worry about the eyes, nose, or teeth looking weird. It will look better once you get it painted. One thing I recommend for the nose is instead of drawing for your nostrils, instead of drawing a full circle, I like to just draw a little arch at the top of each nostril, and I think it makes it look a little bit less crazy in my opinion. But you'll just complete all those lines. Here in the hair, I'll show you what I would do. So I can see that my hair is going along here and it's moving in this general direction. So it kind of waves down and then back up and goes towards my ear. So that's the way that I want to draw it here. So again, not scribbling or sketching it in, but showing the actual movement of my hair. And then it kind of gathers up here. And if I'm not happy with that part of the drawing, I can just erase it and redo it. But these are basically your contour lines. You'll do the whole picture with them. If your picture gets cut off at some point, like what happened with the hat, you can either imagine the line that would be there and finish it, or you can just leave it the way it is. And when you paint, you can use your brush strokes to kind of just fade that part out, make it a little bit loose and painterly. So hopefully that helps you with the first part. Once you're done with this stage, I do want you to send me a photo of it if you're at home, or show it to me in person if you're here, so that I can talk to you about your lines, make sure you didn't miss anything, make sure you don't need to correct anything before you move on. So please show it to me after this stage. Then, if I approve you, I will give you a sheet of acetate. Acetate is just this clear plastic. It's used for, like, in the old days, overhead transparencies and things like that. And that is going to be part of your final project. So you need to be really careful with this. At first I had students tape it down, but I actually think it damaged it trying to get the tape off. So if you don't need to, please don't tape it. What you'll do next is detach. Let's assume that I have this whole thing drawn. Carefully detach the tracing paper from, I guess not so carefully, from the photo. That was less graceful than I imagined. I'm gonna just lay it down. If you want to tape it to the table, if that helps you, you can. And then place the acetate over it. Make sure that you line up the acetate as best you can. I would line it up in one of the corners, but whatever works for you is fine. Just make sure that you are happy with how it's aligned. And then you'll need a Sharpie. Just make sure this is a good Sharpie. Okay. Now I'm gonna hold the acetate down, and I'm just gonna trace over the lines that I already drew. So I'm not adding any new lines. I'm not leaving anything out. And you want to do your best not to smear it. So you may need to kind of turn it different directions, or work from one side to the other so that you don't rub your hand over the part that you've already drawn. Just carefully trace your lines. Keep it as neat and even as possible. Remember, if you want to earn a 4 on this project, everything needs to be really clean and neat. So that is pretty much what you're going to do for the entire face. And I actually have a finished one done, mostly finished at least. And I'll put a white paper below so you can see. Just a sec. Okay, so this is my finished one, and you can see when I had something like the zipper, instead of shading that in, I actually used lines. They're so small they almost look like dots on the camera, but little lines to show the texture of that zipper. I also had a camera strap that had sort of a ridged texture, and so where I could see that texture, I drew lines there as well. Same with this part of the camera, so you can kind of give it your own unique flair. I also traced some shadows and wrinkles on my clothing and just tried to incorporate a lot of little details. Notice my eyes are not perfect circles. I actually traced the lines, like the shape of my eye, and then the lines over it, some of the lines in the corner. Don't forget your smile lines. They help to show the expression on your face, whether you're smiling or making any other facial expression. So just look for all those really important features and make sure that you get these things approved in between different stages. I hope that helps. Please let me know if you have any questions, and then I will talk to you guys or possibly make another video about painting on the acetate. So more to come. Bye.